Hey everyone, Gaijin Goomba here. So I've covered a lot of indie games on this show, but there's one that I've been wanting to do for a long time, Shantae. I've wanted to sit down and really iron out what country or region this game may be taking place in. It's incredibly obvious that the game has an ongoing theme of the Middle East, but finding enough clues to hint at a specific country has been really difficult. But there's one thing I found in my research that can lead me to the answer: Shantae's belly dancing. Believe it or not, after doing some research, I found out that belly dance styles are pretty different between Middle Eastern regions. While the general concepts, such as the 7 movements, are mostly the same, there are lots of little distinctions here and there between the styles that make them unique. So let's dive right in and see if Shantae's swagger will act as a fingerprint in this cultural mystery case. While historians have debated where belly dancing originated, its most prominent home of Egypt is probably the best place to start. It's here that 2 specific styles have been practiced over the generations: Raqs Baladi and Raqs Sharqi. Raqs Baladi, meaning local or folk dancing, is ideally the more casual of the 2 styles. It's performed by both men and women of all ages during times of celebrations and social gatherings. Due to the casual nature of the dance, costumes tend to be more plain, with midriff covering long dresses, hip scarves, long sleeves, and a more basic top. What's notable though about the Raqs Baladi style of belly dancing is that it's much more stationary, grounded, and a more subtle style of dance. The dancer puts focus on the hip and arm movements and less on the movement of the legs. Now look comparatively at the dancing of Shantae. While she does have a few subtle moves, she has a lot of erratic actions that involve more leg movement. And her dance costume is far from subtle. The Raqs Sharqi, literally Eastern or Oriental style, is more along the lines of what we in the West know as belly dancing. This style is far lighter and flightier than the Baladi style. There are far more arm waves, shoulder shimmies, and a lot more movement around the stage with more energy behind the moves. Being the more show business style of the 2, dancers typically will wear eye-catching costumes that glitter and shine with exotic sequins, beads, and sometimes gems. Their dresses are oftentimes too slit all the way up to the thigh as to expose and give more attention to the dancer's legs. Looking back to Shantae's dancer outfit, the similarities are obvious. She wears several pieces of golden jewelry, some adorned with gemstones, and her dress is slit so far up the hip she might as well be wearing a loincloth. As far as references in the game, in the original Shantae, our heroine has the opportunity to make a crazy amount of money by performing for the public in a dance show minigame. The better you do at your timed button presses, the more money you make. So you'd actually think that this style of dance is where Shantae falls under, right? Actually, no. With as close as the similarities get, there are still even things that are off when comparing Shantae to the Raqs Sharqi dancer. Even though Raqs Sharqi is more of a mobile dance type, it's still fairly tame compared to Shantae's dancing. There is, however, another well-known style that I haven't discussed and represents Shantae's dance style in spades: Oriental dance. Commonly just called Oriental, the amount of movement and energy in this style of dance goes beyond Raqs Sharqi. The people that perform this style of belly dance are gymnastic in their dances. Look at these bends, these movements, these flexes. It's also safe to say that this style of dance is also far more expressive and playful than the well-known Egyptian styles. Oriental dancer costumes are also even more elaborate than the Raqs Sharqi. Frilled, beaded, and elaborate plunging tops. Full-styled skirts that allow for a lot of leg. Gold, gems, adornments, just super flashy stuff. Sometimes, but not always, dancers will have a V-shaped belt which accents the midriff and the hips as well. Now, compare the style of both clothing and dance to Shantae. Even in bit form, you can see how much fun Shantae has with her dancing. Or even in her most recent representations in the soon-to-be-released Half-Genie Hero and Pirate's Curse. She's happy, flirty, energetic, and fun, and that's one of the big appeals about her. Also, compare the costume of an Oriental dancer to Shantae's outfit. Ornate, frilly, and plunging top, V-shaped belt, and super leggy skirt. I think we have ourselves a winner here. Now, does this mean that the world of Shantae exists within Turkey? I'll leave that up for you to decide. And let me know in the comments below where you think Shantae's imaginative world comes from. But if you're hungry for even more culture and gaming, I've got a brand new Game Exchange episode on my channel tackling the controversial question: is Punch-Out actually racist? And with the help of the Game Grumps, you might be surprised at the final answer. So, I'll see you guys on the other side.